This is a UV-Vis spectrophotometer, which is an instrument that can be used for reading samples or solutions in the UV region. To start with reading our sample, we need to have a pair of cuvette quartz. One cuvette quart will be having our blank, and one cuvette will be having our sample. But for now, before we use the instrument, we are going to put blanks in our two cuvettes because there is a need to calibrate the instrument. So in calibrating the instrument, we have to put the cuvette in the sample compartments. One cuvette at the blank and one cuvette in front. And in placing the cuvette inside the sample holder or inside the UV-Vis, we have to make sure that our clear sides of the cuvette are facing the beam. So the beam is on the side. So we have to make sure that the clear side is placed this way so that the light can pass through the clear sides of our cuvette. In doing the calibration, we will see the following options from our main screen. Since we are already having a known wavelength, we can choose 1. So from the keypads, press 1. When you press 1, we are having these two options. The first is for single wavelength. The second is for more than one wavelengths. So since we will be using two wavelengths, we will choose 2. Press 2. When you press 2, we have these options. There is no need to change the absorbance because we need to read in the absorbance. In number 2, this is where we can set the number of wavelengths. So we can set up to 8 wavelengths. But since we will be using only 2, so just confirm 2. Press 2 from there and press enter. When you press enter, from the first wavelength, we can choose or we can set the desired wavelength. We can set example 240. Just input 240 and press enter. So the 240 is already set. Once it's set, it moves to the next. So let's say from wavelength 2, we will use 275. So just input 275 and press enter. So the settings are done. 240 is set and 275 is also set. Since we need to calibrate, we are having 2 blanks inside the UV-Vis. And from there, just press auto 0. Press auto 0. When you press auto 0, from this part of the screen, we have to achieve a 0 reading for the absorbance. So let's assume this is already 0. We already achieved 0. Next thing we'll do is remove the cuvette in front. So this cuvette at the back, which is having blank, remains until we finish the analysis. And you have to remember that we will only be doing the calibration once. So we are now done with the calibration. We can now proceed with reading our samples. From here, just change the cuvette with your sample, but before doing it, before placing it in the UV-Vis, rinse the cuvette twice or thrice with your sample. So after rinsing twice or 3 times, just prepare your cuvette with sample and place it inside the UV-Vis. So now we have your sample inside the UV-Vis, and from here you just press start. So when you press start, you will achieve the reading for the first wavelength. Then after that, again press start. You will achieve the reading for the second wavelength. And after these 2 readings are achieved, you can proceed with your second, third, fourth, or fifth sample. That's how simple it is.